So what am I going to...
The 24th of October, 2014 marks a very auspicious date for our beautiful country, Zambia, the 50th anniversary of its independence. Come with us as we take a journey through time to revisit the pinnacle moments that influenced the Zambia we live in today. Let us rekindle our history. Our journey begins here. The year is 1960. Zambia, then known as Northern Rhodesia, is under the rule of the British. The tight grip of colonization begins to take a toll on the people. This sparked the creation of the United National Independence Party, UNIP, formed by Kenneth Kaunda, to campaign for independence and dissolution of federation dominated by white-ruled Southern Rhodesia.
The copper-rich country has more than $12 billion of external debt and an unknown amount of debt to China, while high rate of unemployment as well as one factor, though, that is common to most African countries, that is corruption. Many before Hakainde Hichilema have promised to eradicate corruption, but the question is, were they successful in fulfilling their promises? Will the newly elected president follow in their footsteps, or will he take a different path? My name is Nomava Vuke and welcome to the Report Review. Well, today's show is about the Zambian elections and what transpired from that. And, you know, this came as a shock to us and to many of the Africans now that Hakainde Hichilema won. And, you know, we're still expecting Edgar Chagwa Lungu to win the elections. But before we can delve into the issue even further, let's take a look at this clip.
Scenes of jubilation in Lusaka, Zambia's capital. Residents here are reacting with ecstasy to the news of the win of business tycoon and veteran opposition leader Hakainde Hichilema in the country's just concluded elections.
Thank God, the president Hakainde Hichilema has liberated Zambia. It's like we have got independence again.
The Electoral Commission proclaimed Hichilema president-elect in the early hours of Monday, bringing the curtain down on President Edgar Lungu's nearly 6-year reign. Hichilema scored a landslide victory in the bitterly contested polls. He had enjoyed the backing of 10 opposition parties, which threw their weight behind him.
I think he's got a lot of work to do. It's the youth vote that has ushered him to State House. And he must immediately address the issue of unemployment and a number of challenges that are, are affecting the Zambian people, other than the collapsing economy.
Observers saw the election as a referendum on President Lungu's rule, which saw plummeting living standards and deepening repression in the country of more than 17 million. Hichilema's prime task on taking office will now be to...
Wow, you can see the residents there scrapping off Lungu's face, on the streets. But to discuss the issue with me and to delve into it even further, with me on the studio today is our political analyst from Zambia, Aaron Kapemba. Aaron, welcome to the show.
All right. Good morning. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm grateful.
Well, thank you for being with us here today on the Report Review. I just wanted to go straight to it. 3 years ago, we know that President Hichilema came to South Africa, right, to meet with the investors and stakeholders as well as the political parties, just to implore to the SADC region to to make sure that these elections are going to be free and fair, and also for the SADC to put pressure on the Zambian government to determine and properly monitor these elections. So for the 6th time, Aaron, for Mr. Hichilema, talk to me about this particular win and what it really means for the country of Zambia.
All right, thank you for the question. Mr. Hichilema, is one of the people that is a great politician in the history of Zambia, and he has tried on several occasions to attempt on the presidential seat, which were not which never went through. But this time around, people, especially the youths, wanted him into power because of the current happenings in our country, and also we've known from his experience. He's a seasoned businessman, so we wanted a time for change. So this victory means a lot to Zambian people, especially young people, because it's most of the youths, over 50% of the youths voted for Hichilema. So we are grateful that we have him as our president.
Wow, you could tell there when Hichilema won the elections that the youth was ecstatic. Now, due to the rising cost of living and corruption that we indicated before, how and where does he start to rebuild the economy that has been presumptively ignored and neglected for years?
We do know the fact that he has a great job to do because a number of things were done wrongly, and because the standard of living, as we say, in Zambia is very high, and there's a number of high unemployment, especially young people. We have a number of graduates in Zambia who have no employment, and some of them for more than 5 years, even after finishing their studies, they can't even find employment. So we know he has a good work to do, and just yesterday he addressed the nation, on some of the things that he plans to do to improve the economy, because one of the things that he said in his manifesto as he was campaigning to be president, he said he's going to work on the dollar, and because currently there's high inflation in Zambia. $1 is equivalent to about 19 kwacha, and few months it's about 22 kwacha. So you can see that the economy of Zambia has not been very, very well, and our wish and our desire as young people, and also as Zambian people, we want him to work on that, and also to improve the standard of living for every Zambian. So we it's a good job to do in Zambia, and already we can see response from international communities, like IMF. They have embraced his new office. So we can see from the international market, and we're able to know that there will be a positive change that will be effected in his rule. So we're confident in his, in this regime that he has begun, and we know that things will be better for our nation. Yes, thank you.
Well, Aaron, let's go to a break, and when we come back, we just want to discuss more on this issue. To the viewers at home, please stay with us. $20. Well, we apologize for those technical glitches right there. Now, we still continue with our issue of and the topic of Zambian elections. Aaron, are you still with us? Aaron? Aaron?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, that's good. Aaron, I was going to tell you that, you can understand the pressure that the president, the newly elected president, has at the moment of changing the economy and the squabbles, before him and everything else that has been taking place. So do you now think that he is more than capable of changing and taking on the ropes?
Yes, we're confident because Mr. Hichilema is a seasoned businessman who is not just someone not from, is someone that understands the business world, and he's an economist by profession. And from the way he has been running, because a number of shares in different companies, not just in Zambia, but in Africa at large. So we know from his records and track record that he's capable of doing, controlling and also bringing, to improve the economy in every way possible. So I'm confident in him that he's going to do a great job. Yeah, from his track record, it's certain that he's going to do a great job.
All right, before we continue even further, I just want us to take a look at this clip and, just find out how we can delve into the issue of the Zambian elections and how we're going to continue analyzing this.
Zambians vote to a new president on Monday. That is, those who'd gone to sleep. Many supporters of Hakainde Hichilema partied in the early hours of the morning after the opposition leader won Zambia's presidential election with a landslide, according to Electoral Commission results.
Okay, we can tell there by the looks of things that, people are expecting a lot of change. But Aaron, given the foregoing title of being an accountant and economist and a CEO at an accounting firm, Hichilema is faced with an intimidating task, actually, of having to change the country's economic fortunes. Do you think he will be able, perhaps, to look at the opportunities with regards to maybe the African continental free trade?
Yes, I do believe he's going to work with the international, African, trade at large, because, like I said earlier, Mr. Hichilema has his business not just in Zambia, but then Africa at large. He has shares in different companies in South Africa. So with someone, and from yesterday's meeting, because the fifth president, Mr. Rupiah Banda, called for a meeting, him, Mr. Hichilema, and the former president, Edgar Lungu, and other international delegates from different countries from Africa, were discussing things pertaining, the economy. And we know just from that gesture that he's going to embrace the free trade in Africa and beyond.
Well, when you mention Rupiah Banda, that rings a bell because we can really associate with him, based on the previous administrations of maybe Michael Sata and Mr. Chiluba. So, but, moving forward from Mr. Banda, do you think Edgar Lungu will dispute these elections, though, as he has made a statement saying the elections were not free and fair, and we understand that, defeat is not easy? Just 1 minute.
I didn't get you. Can you just repeat your question?
I'm saying, do you think maybe Mr. Lungu, Edgar Lungu, will be able to just let go of what has happened, or do you think he will dispute the elections? Hence, he has made a statement saying the elections were not free and fair.
When the campaign was going on, we heard that he couldn't just accept defeat. But from yesterday's talk, because on his, he was addressing the nation yesterday, and in his speech, he accepted defeat. And so you can see from that gesture, though at some point he had said the election was not free and fair, but eventually he had to come to the terms that he had lost the elections.
Yeah.
So, and we could see from yesterday's, meeting with Rupiah Banda and Hichilema.
All right.
They are reconciled, and I think as a country, what we want is for us to move on, and because one Zambia, one nation. So eventually, has accepted defeat. Yeah.
Wow. I guess what has happened there was supposed to happen, really, and the youth is happy about the outcome. Well, Aaron, thanks for having us today on the show. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
But from me, Nomava Vuga, and the rest of the crew behind the scenes, that's it for today.